Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Wednesday, August 6, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nekram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. EU observers deployed to all 10 regions to monitor Ghana's elections. Jagdeo says Ghana's youth benefit from the country's oil wealth through education and skills development. Members of the disciplined services will cast their ballots on August 22nd. And Crabwood Creek mother pleads for justice after speeding car kills her 8-year-old son. But weeks ago, before Ghana heads to the polls, the European Union has begun the next phase of its election observation mission. Today, 14 long-term observers representing a range of EU member states were officially deployed across the country. Deployed in multinational teams of 2, the observers will be stationed in all 10 administrative regions. Their task is to assess the electoral process in line with Ghana's national laws, as well as international and regional standards for democratic elections.
We have been invited by the government of Guyana to observe the general and regional elections, and we are privileged to be here. Our core team members arrived in Georgetown on 23rd of July to set up the mission and also to prepare the ground for the arrival of the long-term observers.
The long-term teams will be watching campaign activities, the media landscape, and any electoral grievances that may arise as a law-critical insight ahead of Election Day. A larger group of short-term observers will arrive closer to Election Day, bringing the EU mission's total to about 50 observers.
Our long-term observers will meet with the different stakeholders in the regions. They will meet with political parties and candidates contesting there. They will meet with the local branches of the election administration. They will also meet with the civil society, local media, and all other interlocutors who are present on the ground. And they will make independent, neutral, and fact-based assessment of the election preparations and also the election process in general in the different locations where they are deployed.
The European Union's mission is one of several international observation teams invited by the Ghana government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Their presence is seen as a vital part of boosting transparency and public trust in the election process. The EU's findings may also influence international confidence in the credibility of Ghana's elections. As campaign season heats up, candidates are making the rounds and delivering their party's promises. One such candidate, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Jagdeo, says the government remains committed to the development of young Guyanese. He's pushing back against claims that the country's oil wealth should be handed out directly to citizens. Speaking on the Lockdown Radio show, Dr. Jagdeo addressed a key question. Are young people getting their fair share of Ghana's oil income? He said the answer lies in investment, not handouts.
We are going to push you. We're going to push you to study, to get a skill. Whatever it costs, we are going to pay for that.
Jagdeo said the party is focused on helping young people reach their dreams, and one big part of that is education. The plan includes making university access available in every home through online learning. Currently, 39,000 people are studying through the GOLD program, and another 42,000 are receiving technical training, all fully paid by the government.
We have another 42,000 who are trained through the WIN program, BIT, and the GROW program. These are people, young men, who we get picking up from many parts of their communities who might be sitting on a roadside and thinking they don't have a future. We want to talk to them. They're learning to drive a truck, an excavator, a bulldozer, and they're making $12,000 a day, many of them.
Dr. Jagdeo said the PBC will continue to cover the costs because the party believes in investing in people, ensuring every young person gets an education, a skill, and the support to succeed. In more election news, a second political party has launched a manifesto. The Forward Ghana movement has officially launched its contract with the people. The 40-page document was unveiled yesterday during a press conference at the Bransville Hotel, where party leaders Amansel Walton Desir, Nigel London, and Darwin Bess presented plans to overhaul Ghana's governance, economy, and social systems.
Today is not just another day in politics. It's not a campaign rally. It is not about promises written in the sky or slogans that fade after elections. Today marks a turning point, a contract between you and us, the people of this great nation.
The manifesto proposes wide-ranging reforms, including ending winner-takes-all politics, instituting community participatory budgeting, and launching citizen-led audits of public services. It calls for transparency in government contracts, stronger anti-corruption bodies, and reviving the State Asset Recovery Agency. On social issues, FGM promises guaranteed land access for first-time homeowners, investments in education and health, and a 30% quota for women and youth in government roles.
And so today we have signed a contract with the people of Guyana. Not a political manifesto, but a moral obligation. We're not seeking blind trust. We're asking that you hold us accountable. This is not about winning power. This is about returning power to you. And so I say to every farmer in Region 2, we say to the miners in Region 9, we say to the teachers of Region 4, we say to the youth in Linden, we say to the small business owner, wherever you may find yourself in this great nation, this movement is yours. So let us not sign this contract today with ink only, but with action. Not just with hope, but with courage. Because I truly believe that together we can fix what is broken, and together we can move Guyana forward.
Economically, the party aims to diversify Ghana's industries beyond oil, focusing on agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and establishing a national oil company with strict oversight. Guyanese interested in supporting the manifesto can add their digital signature via the party's website. Members of Ghana's discipline services will cast their votes on August 22nd, ahead of the rest of the country. This is part of the process for the general and regional elections set for September 1st, 2025. The early vote allows security officers to be on duty when the general public heads to the polls. Ballots from the discipline services will be kept in tamper-proof containers and counted together with the rest of the votes on Election Day. To prepare, the Ghana Elections Commission has appointed 3 ballot officers to manage the process. Ariana Britton will oversee voting for the Ghana Defense Force. Sharon Jetu will manage the Ghana Police Force, and Sadna Budanlal will handle voting for the Ghana Prison Service. When we return, a $350 million school coming to Shulanab, new crackdowns on prison smuggling, and a major highway encroachment busted by the Housing Ministry.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Jagdeo Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Jagdeo's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. We begin with a major boost for education in the South Rupununi, as Shulanab is setting to get its first secondary school. Students of Shulanab and surrounding communities are set to benefit from the construction of a new $350 million secondary school, following a sod-turning exercise on Tuesday. This is a major educational boost for students living in the hinterland village located in south-central Rupununi, as previously, students had to travel long distances or relocate to pursue a secondary education. The new school is expected to reduce the burden on families and improve attendance and performance. The sod was officially turned by Minister of Education Priya Manik Chan, marking the start of construction on the modern facility.
It's a school that will cater for 250 children with classrooms, laboratories, a small dormitory, cafeteria area. And we couldn't be happier because what we're trying to do is a new model, not build large schools where children have to be away from home for large amounts of time without the guidance and love of their family members, but smaller schools across the region.
Manichan added that the project is not just about buildings, but ensuring that children in remote areas like Shulanab have the same opportunities as their peers. Construction is expected to take between 6 to 8 months and will be executed by multiple local contractors selected through a national competitive bidding process. Shulanab Tushal Nicholas Fredericks, who participated in the sod-turning exercise, expressed satisfaction with the plans for the new school, as he noted it has been long anticipated.
It is something that we were asking for a very long time. And thank you to our government. I wanted to give special regards to President Irfanali for making this a reality. We know that this is a government that is willing to work with us as indigenous people. We are here to work with the government to ensure that the development is brought to our community. So once again, this is history in the making in Chillingham. We are very honored, we are very proud. Thank you very much.
The Chillingham School is part of a broader national initiative by the Ministry of Education to build more than 40 new secondary schools across Guyana. The government has said its goal is to achieve universal secondary education, especially in hinterland and indigenous communities, which have long been underserved. The Ghana Prison Service is stepping up efforts to stop the smuggling of contraband into prisons. On the latest episode of Safeguarding Our Nation, Director of Prisons Nicolan Elliott called the issue a serious security risk that requires urgent action.
We are installing state-of-the-art walk-through body and back scanners, and this will be done at all the prison locations. We will be introducing body cameras, and this will address the issue of transparency and accountability. An AI-powered surveillance security system will be installed, along with the operationalizing of a central command center that will oversee the operations of all the prisons.
He said the prison service is installing new security systems and will increase searches across the board. A multi-agency approach is also being used, with support from the police and the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, using intelligence-led strategies to detect and prevent smuggling.
Overall, our focus is to reduce contraband and to have a zero-tolerance policy regarding persons facilitating contraband in prison. We do take this issue very serious, and all efforts will be put in place to address contraband in prison.
The GPS has identified several ways contraband enters facilities. These include by dishonest officers, visitors concealing items, people throwing packages over fences, and during ongoing construction at prison sites. Items being smuggled in include phones, weapons, and illegal drugs. The Ministry of Housing and Water has taken enforcement action against a business illegally occupying parts of the Mandela Eccles Highway Reserve. According to the Central Housing and Planning Authority, the business had poured concrete and stored construction materials and equipment on state land without permission. The CHNPS issued a notice of contravention, ordering the immediate removal of all encumbrances, and warned that all activities must stay within the legal boundaries of the property. Although the business was granted planning approval in December 2023, the route access point was from an internal road, not the highway. CHNP has already begun dismantling the illegal structures, saying the action shows a commitment to keeping public spaces clear and accessible. The ministry is warned that unauthorized encroachments will not be tolerated, and legal action will follow in cases of non-compliance. A Crabwood Creek mother is calling for justice for her 8-year-old son, Sahil Naipal, who was struck and killed by a speeding car on Tuesday afternoon. The vehicle bearing license plates PAK 6593 was reportedly driven by a 21-year-old man from the neighboring village of Grant 1803. He's currently in police custody, assisting with ongoing investigations. The child was in the company of a stepfather returning home from a nearby errand when the tragic incident occurred. According to Sahil's mother, 24-year-old Devi Ramkisoon, she was home cooking when she received a devastating call from a neighbor.
Neighbor called me and tell me that how my son in the trench get accident. When I run, I left down everything and I come out. I see my son in the trench. I start to pick it up and start holler. I'm so sad. That is my second son. Yeah, he been already die in the water because he not breathing. Mud was in his mouth. He was stuffed in his mud. All his teeth, all his breaking out. His foot broke, hand break, and he went in the trench.
She further explained that the vehicle fled the scene, but was later intercepted by police at Molson Creek after taking several back streets. The heartbroken mother is now demanding justice.
I want justice for my son. I want no thing for thing. I just want to go to jail. I don't want no settlement or nothing concern or bury or nothing. We can do everything myself, me and my father. And we don't want nothing else.
Adding to the weight of her grief, the mother disclosed that this is the second son she has lost, the first passing away just 3 years ago. Now she's left clinging to memories and pleading for justice. When we come back, Suriname's Tourism Association wraps up its river tour with a serene stop at Baganara. Ghana's Domino team gears up for the world stage, and our boxers bring home 5 goals from St. Lucia.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. We begin the segment with a visit to paradise, Baganara Island, where Suriname's tourism delegation wrapped up their Essequibo River tour in style. The final leg of the Suriname Hospitality and Tourism Association, SHATA, delegation's Essequibo River tour concluded on a tranquil note at Baganara Island Resort, a 187-acre private island located just 5 miles from Bartica. Upon arrival, delegates were greeted with warm hospitality and afternoon tea, setting a relaxed tone for the visit. The group was then taken on a brief tour of the island's scenic property, including its golden sand beach, lush tropical landscape, and inviting guest accommodations. The visit to Baganara offered a peaceful and memorable close to the delegation's journey along one of Ghana's most iconic rivers. In sports, President Dr. Irfan Ali has shown his support behind the Ghana National Domino Federation as he prepared to represent the country at the 20th World Domino Championships. The team went to the president ahead of the departure for the tournament, which will be held from August 10th to 18th in St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. During the meeting, President Ali extended best wishes to the 30-member contingent and pledged the full backing of the nation. He also encouraged the federation to widen its reach across Guyana, promoting community spirit and togetherness through the game. Ghana will compete against 9 other countries in the tournament, organized by the World Council of Domino Federations. The team departs this Saturday. Ghana has secured 3rd place at the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States (OECS) Boxing Championship in St. Lucia, taking home 5 gold medals and multiple individual honors. Ken Harvey led the charge with a dominant win in the Youth 60 to 63 kg final, while rising star Akila Van Kooten was named Best Female Boxer after forcing a stoppage against Jada Emmanuel of St. Lucia. Ryan Rogers added gold with a referee-stopped contest victory in the schoolboys division. And Taryn Wins, crowned Best Youth Boxer, delivered a standout performance against Trinidad and Tobago's Darnell Phillip. Emmanuel Pompey rounded out the gold haul with a strategic points win over Antigua and Barbuda's Yakita Saka. Though reigning champ Abiyola Jackman and Joel Williamson won via walkovers due to opponent no-shows, the team still impressed. Ghana Boxing Association President Steve Ninval praised the athletes' performances and sportsmanship, calling the result a strong showing for the national program. Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez is reportedly close to joining Saudi club Al Hilal, with a €53 million deal set to be in the final stages. Núñez, signed from Benfica for €75 million 3 years ago, has struggled to justify the fee, scoring 40 goals in 143 games and dropping down the pecking order at Anfield. His exit could open the door for Liverpool to pursue Alexander Isak, with Newcastle demanding up to £150 million for the Swedish striker, possibly setting a new British transfer record. The Reds have already spent €300 million this window on players including Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, and fullbacks Miles Kirkes and Jermaine Frimpong. Selling Núñez would push Liverpool's transfer sales close to €200 million, following exits like Luis Diaz, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and goalkeeper Kaima Hin Kelleher. Harvey Elliott may also be on the move, with RB Leipzig eyeing the midfielder at a €45 million valuation. At Al Hilal, Noodles would join a squad stacked with stars like Ruben Neves, João Cancelo, and Alexander Mitrovic, under coach Simone Inzaghi. Still ahead, Port of Spain takes the next step in removing a colonial-era statue. Plus, the US slaps steep new tariffs on Indian goods, and China fights back against a mosquito-borne virus. Welcome back. After years of public debate, the controversial Christopher Columbus statue in Trinidad and Tobago is set to be relocated. The city of Port of Spain has started preparations to remove the controversial monument from Columbus Square. Mayor Chinua Allen, joined by the National Trust, Santa Rosa First Peoples, and engineers, led a technical site visit to plan the relocation. The statue, long criticized as a symbol of colonial violence, has been repeatedly defaced, painted red, hands sawn off, and its head covered in protests. Officials said the statue will eventually be relocated to the National Museum once the facility is ready. No exact timeline has been set, as the museum falls under central government control. Mayor Allen says the statue will be secured once removed, dismissing concerns about further vandalism. The plan has broad support, with stakeholders calling it a chance to preserve history respectfully. Allen said the move will allow the city to hold its head high. The decision follows a city council vote and is being carried out in a collaborative and dignified manner. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump today signed an executive order imposing an additional 25% tariff on Indian goods, escalating tensions after trade talks broke down. The tariffs, which raised duties on some Indian exports as high as 50%, are a direct response to India's continued imports of Russian oil, which is a record $52 billion in 2024. Key sectors like textiles, footwear, and jewelry are expected to take a hit. India's foreign ministry called the move extremely unfortunate, insisting its oil imports are based on energy security, not geopolitics. The tariffs mark the worst U.S.-India fallout since Trump returned to office in January, and comes just as Prime Minister Modi plans a rare visit to China. Reuters reports that these tariffs could cripple Indian exports. Indian economist Manavi Arora is quoted as stating that with those tariff levels, trade would be practically dead. The new tariffs take effect 21 days from today. Meanwhile, the White House declined to say whether China, also a major Russian oil buyer, would face similar penalties. Finally this evening, an outbreak of the chikungunya virus in southern China has triggered a sweeping response. Mosquito nets, heavy disinfectant spraying, and even drones deployed to hunt down breeding grounds. Media reports indicate that more than 7,000 cases have been reported, mainly in Foshan, near Hong Kong. The illness spread by mosquitoes and not between people is common in tropical areas, but this year's outbreak came on strong, worsened by heat and heavy rains. Chinese authorities are fining residents up to $1,400 for leaving standing water in bottles or flower pots. In extreme cases, electricity is being cut off. Footage shows workers fogging streets and buildings, echoing China's COVID-era tactics. Patients are forced to stay in hospital for a week, and a short-lived home quarantine is enforced. Meanwhile, the U.S. has issued a travel advisory for Guangdong province, warning Americans to avoid the region, as well as other affected countries like Brazil and Bolivia. In China, mosquito-eaten fish and even larger insects are being introduced in a bid to curb the spread. Officials are holding national meetings and stepping up protocols to avoid international backlash. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. Stay with Ignite Television for a special conversation with official brand partner and logistics coordinator for this year's International Building Expo. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nekram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.